All right, good afternoon, everybody. It's good to see you, and good to see everybody wearing their masks and keeping their distance. I'm going to take this off for now, and then we'll put it back on. I had a few updates that I wanted to share today, a few of them related to the coronavirus, and then one of them not directly related to the coronavirus. The first is to announce that our Department of Health and Human Services has been working with the CDC Foundation for a while to build a partnership and to identify additional resources to support our community's response to the coronavirus. The CDC Foundation is an independent, nonprofit foundation. It's not part of the CDC, but it works to advance the goals of public health. And because of that partnership, we recently were notified that we have secured a nearly $400,000 grant to expand our community outreach and education efforts. That includes increasing our neighborhood testing, increasing outreach about the virus in general, as well as beginning and preparing to conduct outreach and education efforts for when a coronavirus vaccine is developed. We know that once a vaccine is developed, and we don't know when that'll be, but when it is developed, we know that spreading accurate information, engaging our community, leading that vaccination campaign is going to be an incredibly important part of keeping our community healthy. And so this grant will also help us to do that. So as we look down the road and think about the long-term battle that we face and the work we need to do right now to be sure that we are fighting that fight as best we can, this is a really important grant, a really important additional set of resources that we can use to do the work we need to do. The second thing I wanted to announce is that, as you know, over the past few weeks, past few months, we have been distributing protective equipment, PPE, to small businesses throughout the city in partnership with the state. And starting today and ramping up even more tomorrow, we are going to be distributing PPE packages, care kits to our small businesses, to a couple of hundred of small businesses that have not yet received PPE distributions. Those packages are going to include hand sanitizer, masks, face shields, coronavirus health information, and thermometers, digital thermometers. We hope that that will help small businesses that are now opening up, now that we're officially in phase 2, to make sure that their employees and their customers are taking the precautions necessary to keep themselves safe. So we're going to be doing a distribution event tomorrow to highlight that initiative, but I wanted to let you know about it today. I also just wanted to stress that as we go into phase 2, and many more parts of our economy open back up, gyms, movie theaters, nail salons, restaurants inside. As all that happens, it's all the more important that we all take the basic personal precautions that we've now hopefully gotten used to. So wearing your mask, washing your hands, keeping physically distant from other people whenever you can. That stuff matters more than ever because we're going to be back in places where there are more people around. And if we want to make sure that we continue the progress we've made and we don't see Connecticut revert back or have a big spike, we've got to continue those efforts. There have been a number of studies at this point that have shown that wearing your mask when you're around other people can have a huge impact on public safety. It can have a huge impact on suppressing the virus. And again, I've got my mask right here. Only reason it's not on is because you folks in the media are pretty far away and we're all keeping our distance. But wearing your mask when you're out and about and around other people, especially in close proximity, really, really makes a difference. And I know it can be frustrating. I know it can be hot and uncomfortable. But please remember, it's not just about you. It's not just about your health. It's about the health of your loved ones, your family, your coworkers, your neighbors. This is one of the most important things we can do to keep each other safe. So those are a few coronavirus updates, but I also wanted to address an issue that has become a really significant quality of life issue here in the city of Hartford and elsewhere, and that is the unprecedented use of fireworks throughout our city and throughout our neighborhoods. This is not just a Hartford problem. It's pretty clear that this is a problem in cities throughout New England, throughout Connecticut, and beyond. But there's no question that it is a big problem here. And so I want to start by saying to anybody who is tempted to shoot fireworks off in their neighborhood, please, these fireworks are not harmless. They're not fun and games. It's not victimless when you use them. They are dangerous. They are extremely loud. They're keeping families awake. They're keeping young children awake. We've got veterans who suffer from PTSD, who are trying to sleep through the night and hearing what sounds like bombs going off. This is serious stuff, guys. And it really does hurt people, and it hurts a community to be setting off these massive fireworks night after night. You know, in the past, we always see some amount of firework activity in the month of June leading up to July 4th. But what we and other communities are seeing right now is unprecedented, and it's dangerous, and it's affecting the lives of all of our residents. So we're asking everybody to please show a little respect for your neighbors and don't shoot the fireworks off. But we're also asking those who are frustrated with the fireworks to partner with us so that we can respond more effectively. We are going to be dedicating officers overnight to respond to fireworks calls. We're going to have officers dedicated to fireworks calls. We're asking you to help us use those resources as effectively as we can by telling us exactly where you're seeing fireworks being set off. And I want to stress that sending us that information in a timely way when it's actually happening, with as much detail as possible about where it's happening. Not just don't tell us there are fireworks going off in Parkville. Tell us the street address, and again, do it as fast as you can. That will help us respond. There are two ways that we're asking you to respond. One, we have set up a dedicated phone line for fireworks calls. That number is 860-757-0000. 860-757-0000. You call that line. It's a dedicated line for reporting fireworks. You can also text to let us know, and we have a dedicated text line. That line is 860-294-8233. 860-294-8233. So again, text us or call us to either of those lines with specific information when it's happening, and we'll do our best to get one of the dedicated officers out there to try to prevent your neighborhood, your family from continuing to have to deal with these explosions night after night. I want to say, we're not going to get to every call. I want to be clear about expectations. We're not going to get to every call. We won't always be successful, but we take this seriously. We understand what a significant quality of life issue it is. And again, we ask everybody just to be respectful of others. These really are not harmless, and they're not toys. So with that, I am happy to take any questions. And we also have our Health Director, Leonie Arroyo, our Fire Chief, Reggie Freeman, and our Police Chief, Jason Thody, who are also available to answer questions on any of those three items.
How many officers will be specifically on at night for fireworks? Is the instructing officers that were already on site? Because they had
Chief, you want to take that?
So that's going to vary depending on what we're seeing out there. As of right now, we're going to dedicate resources to the 4 districts: Northwest, Northeast, Southwest, and Southeast. On the times that we're seeing most of the fireworks, obviously after dusk, and we're going to adjust as needed. As of right now, those will be supplemental officers. We also have calls for service to take, and we don't want to take away from the other services. So those will be supplemental officers that will be dedicated on certain nights to overnight to just deal with the fireworks, so that we can respond quickly. We are also prioritizing those calls to those officers, so the call hold times will be much significantly less, so the officers can get out there quickly and address the issues, educate the public, and try to get ahead of this. Correct. So as the mayor said, the more specific information that we can get, the better. We all drive around the city all the time and see the fireworks, but it's difficult to tell where they're coming from at any specific time. We've heard from some residents that have put together, small groups to walk around and try to find out where the fireworks are coming from, whether they're parks, whether they're specific addresses. That's the information that we can go use to go out there and address the specific issues. We want to make sure that people realize just how dangerous these things can be, and that there's a bigger, there's more at stake here than just having a little fun and setting off fireworks.
Can you address the number of complaints that the mayor said was unprecedented? Do you have a number, like a percentage compared to last year on the number of calls for ticketing?
Specifically, I don't have, but I mean, it is a lot. I've read some articles where other communities have seen 400% increases and above and beyond that. So it is significant. It is, I would say, more than double for sure.
Can you talk to us about the dangers of fireworks, like what's the concern outside quality of life?
Well, I mean, so the dangers are that a lot of these fireworks, as people see, are the larger fireworks that go high and make a lot of noise. Those are explosive fireworks. Folks need permits to set those fireworks off for a reason. So it's a safety issue for the people that are setting them off. It's a safety issue if something goes wrong and a firework falls over. It can be a fire issue. We're partnered with the fire department because I think this is an issue that we have to tackle as a team. But there are a lot of issues above and beyond quality of life that go into fire hazards. The Chief Freeman put out a public service announcement the other day, talked about how densely populated we are here, and the fire hazards that can be associated with fireworks. And then again, they can also explode. We don't know where they're coming from. We don't know that these fireworks are safe for people to be setting off themselves. So there's a lot of issues.
What's the citation that would be if someone's caught, depending on whether they're legal fireworks or not?
So the only legal fireworks really in Connecticut are sparklers and some of the smaller fountain fireworks. Everything else is illegal in Connecticut. There is a misdemeanor arrest that could be associated with fireworks. Some of these fireworks fall into a category of an explosive that could move to a felony arrest. So at this point, our biggest goal is to get out there and educate people about the ramifications citywide and neighborhood-wide of this. This is not, but there is enforcement action that we may need to take as well, and also seizing the fireworks so that they can't be used. We have the ability to seize them and destroy them in a safe way so they can't cause further harm.
Have you seized fireworks already?
What's that?
Have you seized fireworks already or handed out citations?
We haven't handed out any citations right now, but again, this is an initiative that we'll be starting this week, and we do anticipate to seize fireworks and likely take enforcement action as well.
Is there a reason they're flying as well?
What's that?
Is there a flying as well?
So the statute is a summons to court, so the court would decide that. It'd be a misdemeanor summons to court.
Is there a reason they're more out there now? Are they more access online?
There's certainly a lot of theories from the fact that that because of coronavirus, there's people are looking for things to do. I don't know exactly why, but I can tell you, in 24 years, I've never seen it like this, even on like 4th of July weekend, and it's pretty steady. We don't know. We don't know. I mean, there are states around us like New Hampshire where these types of fireworks are legal to purchase.
So the legal fireworks, people would be able to set those off in neighborhoods then, or no? For those as well?
I mean, the legal fireworks are sparklers. So yes, small fountains. If they're legal and they're setting them off in a safe way, then it would be legal.
With fire chief, maybe you can tell us about the injury to fingers, hands, let alone that, as well as if they land down like things on fire. How bad can it be?
It could be fatal, and as Chief Doherty and the mayor already mentioned, these are explosives, and they are banned in this city for a reason. We are densely populated. These fireworks can easily catch vegetation on fire, your property on fire, and also if it's kicked over or if the firework itself is compromised, because again, these are commercial grade explosives, it most certainly could be fatal. And a public service announcement that we posted on our Facebook page yesterday speaks exactly to that. At the end of the PSA, there are some safety tips. Again, the only fireworks that are legal in the city are the sparklers. We recommend that you have a metal bucket with water so you could properly place your sparkler in that bucket of water so a child, if barefoot or even an adult, does not step on it and burn their feet. Even a sparkler, let alone a firecracker or a firework, but a sparkler alone can get up to 1,600 degrees Fahrenheit. And that's just very serious business as we're talking about a city of our size, 124,000 people, 17 square miles, dry vegetation. Something will eventually catch fire. No official calls for service yet as a result of someone shooting fireworks. But one thing I can guarantee you is just a matter of time, and that's what we're trying to prevent.
Yeah, let me just say one more thing about this. I mean, again, I just want to stress that for anybody who is out there setting off these massive commercial-grade fireworks, please think about the fact that you're causing babies to not be able to sleep through the night, kids to not be able to sleep through the night, seniors to not be able to sleep through the night. You're potentially putting their properties at risk. You've got veterans who have PTSD who are suffering because of what you're doing. And if you're not moved by all of that to refrain from setting off fireworks in a residential neighborhood, then maybe a misdemeanor summons will help. Yeah, you know, we have been doing everything we can to eliminate barriers to testing, to expand outreach, to share education, because we know that communities like Hartford are particularly vulnerable, and we want to do everything we can to keep our community, keep our residents safe. So with these additional resources, we'll be able to expand that outreach even further. And again, looking beyond the present effort to get as many people tested as possible, to do that contact tracing, we're also preparing for the time when, God willing, we've got a vaccine, and we need to make sure that we're educating our community, spreading the word about that, and implementing a vaccination program. That may be a long way off, but it's not too early to prepare. I have not heard from any businesses that have not been able to open because they don't have the PPE. But PPE is tough to get, and one of the reasons we're distributing it is we want to make it as easy as possible for our small businesses to open up. We also want to make sure that we're helping our small businesses and their employees and their customers get in the habit of taking the precautions that need to be taken, whether it's wearing a mask or using some hand sanitizer, when you come in or when you leave. We have over the last couple of months gotten calls for noncompliance, primarily where you have big gatherings of groups or you've had a few stores, but we've not had a significant number of calls for of complaints coming in. Do you mean neighborhoods? No, they're kind of everywhere. Right? I mean, these fireworks are being set off all over the city. And again, we know it's not just Hartford. We've been seeing the news out of New York, where they are also reporting an astronomical rise, an unprecedented amount of fireworks being shot off. It's true in cities around Connecticut, and not just cities. It's true in towns around Connecticut. And as the chiefs have said, there's a lot of different theories out there, but the bottom line is we are taking this seriously because this really is impacting the health, the mental health, the sleep, the well-being of our community.
Can you use ShotSpotter?
No, ShotSpotter distinguishes between fireworks and gunshots. Right?
Anything new on the Christopher Columbus thing?
Nothing new. Anything else? Okay, Liani, I'm going to turn this over to Liani, who can also answer any more questions about the CDC grant, and then share some additional messages in Spanish.
Buenas tardes todos, soy Liani Arroyo, la directora del Departamento de Salud y Servicios Humanos de la ciudad de Hartford. Hoy día estamos felices en anunciar que la Fundación Nacional del Centro de Control y Prevención de Enfermedades nos ha brindado a la ciudad de Hartford unos fondos en el de $395,000. Esos fondos se van a usar para llevarle información a las comunidades minoritarias de la ciudad y también aumentar las pruebas móviles en nuestros vecindarios. Y además estamos planificando para el futuro y vamos a hacer unas encuestas y trabajar unos mensajes acerca de la vacuna del coronavirus. En este momento no hay una vacuna, pero es importante preparar a nuestra comunidad porque cuando vaya a haber una vacuna queremos que todos tengan la información correcta y que se vayan a vacunar. Además de eso, acerca de lo que está pasando con el coronavirus en nuestra ciudad, nuestro departamento de bomberos está trabajando aquí en la ciudad para llevarle el equipo de protección personal, las mascarillas, el desinfectante para manos y también información acerca de cómo prevenir el COVID a 210 negocios pequeños aquí en nuestra ciudad. Estos negocios son negocios que no han obtenido esta protección personal, este equipo de protección personal por lo que se ya ha dado por más de 2 meses. Al final queremos dar información acerca del problema que estamos viendo aquí en nuestra ciudad acerca de fuegos artificiales o petardos, como algunos te dicen. Hemos visto y hemos escuchado el aumento del problema que hemos visto con esto de los fuegos artificiales por nuestra ciudad. En el pasado no hemos hecho una respuesta, una priorización a responder a esto como una prioridad para la ciudad, pero hoy día eso va a cambiar. Nuestro equipo de policía va a dedicar policía por la etapa de noche para responder a estas llamadas. Así que si tú eres un residente de la ciudad de Hartford y escucha petardos y ves dónde se están haciendo, por favor llame a esta línea, que es una línea dedicada a coger estas llamadas, que es 860-756-0000. 860-757-0000. Es importante que dar la información lo más preciso que lo tenga. Así que si usted ve a alguien tirando fuegos artificiales en su vecindario, por favor llame a ese número, 860-757-0000. Si no quieres llamar, también vamos a tener una línea de texto donde puedes mandar un mensaje de texto. Y ese número es 860-294-8233. Otra vez, para dar quejas acerca de fuegos artificiales por texto, 860-294-8233. Es importante darnos la información más precisa, así que no es que están escuchando los fuegos artificiales en su vecindario, sino en este bloque, aquí, en esta dirección, vi a alguien tirando los fuegos artificiales. Necesitamos esa información para poder mandar la policía y para que ellos puedan darle educación a esas personas. Primero que queremos empezar con la educación, pero sí pueden ver multas y también una persona puede llegar a ir preso si están tirando fuegos artificiales. En la ciudad de Hartford, los fuegos artificiales no son legales. Los únicos fuegos artificiales que son legales son lo que les dicen en inglés los sparklers, que son muy pequeños. Así que por favor, ten en cuenta, si ves a alguien tirando fuegos artificiales, por favor, puedes llamar al 860-757-0000 o hacer un texto al 860-294-8233. Gracias.